Hi everyone. Today we're going to take a peek inside the cell. And I mean a real architectural tour. We'll explore the structures that give it shape, help it interact with the world around it, and move things from place to place. It's pretty amazing stuff. So what exactly acts as a cell's border control, its absorption system, and its internal highway network? Well, that's exactly what we're going to answer. We'll look at three key components, starting from the very edge of the cell and then diving deeper inside. All right, first up, let's check out the cell's boundary, the all-important cell surface membrane. Okay, get this. This membrane is incredibly thin. We're talking only about 7 nanometers. It's almost impossibly small to imagine.
But if you magnify it, and I mean magnify it a lot, over 100,000 times, you can see it actually has this really distinct 3-layered structure. See that? 2 dark lines kind of sandwiching a pale interior. It's what scientists call a trilaminar appearance.
So this is absolutely crucial. The membrane is partially permeable. Think of it like a selective gatekeeper, or maybe a bouncer that controls literally everything going in and out of the cell. It's got to be picky to keep things stable inside. Now, what's really cool is how cells can tweak this membrane for specific jobs. See, some cells need to absorb a whole lot of material, and to do that efficiently, well, you need more surface area. It's a simple idea, right? More surface equals more absorption. And how do they do that? With these things called microvilli. They're these tiny, finger-like folds that just dramatically increase the membrane's surface area. This is perfect for places like your gut, where you're absorbing nutrients, or in your kidneys. Okay, let's move inside the cell now and see how things are built in there. We're going to look at the cell's internal scaffolding, the cytoskeleton, and its main component, microtubules. So these are long, rigid, hollow tubes about 25 nanometers in diameter. They provide all the structural support and really help determine the cell's shape. And this is brilliant. This shows how they're actually built. It's a process called polymerization. See, it all starts with these little protein molecules called tubulin. These combine to form what are called dimers. Then those dimers join end to end, forming a long strand or protofilament. And here you can see the final result. 13 of those protofilaments line up in a ring to form the final hollow microtubule. It's this incredibly strong hollow cylinder, just an amazing piece of natural engineering. But they do way more than just provide support. They act as, they're like an intracellular transport system for moving organelles around. And they play an absolutely vital role in cell division, forming the spindle that separates chromosomes. They're key components of centrioles too. So how does the cell even manage this huge network of highways? I mean, who's in charge? Well, this is all controlled by special locations called microtubule organizing centers, or MTOCs for short. They're the ones that control the assembly and breakdown of microtubules whenever and wherever they're needed. And that brings us to this fascinating and honestly kind of mysterious structure that's associated with MTOCs in animal cells, the centriole. Yeah, under an electron microscope, you can see them so clearly. They're these 2 small cylinders, and you typically find them lying at right angles to each other in this area called the centrosome. Each centriole has this very specific structure. It's a hollow cylinder about 500 nanometers long, and it's formed from a ring of short microtubules. Specifically, it has 9 triplets of microtubules. It's this incredibly ordered pattern. Now, what's really interesting here is that despite knowing their structure in such detail, their function remains a mystery. Scientists are still debating exactly what they do. You know, for a long time, it was believed that centrioles were the ones that assembled the spindle for nuclear division. But we now know that it's the centrosome region, the area around them, that assembles the spindle. And apparently, that process doesn't directly involve the centrioles at all. Crazy, right? Okay, so let's do a quick recap of our little architectural tour. So if you think of the cell as a city, we've seen a few key parts. We saw the border control, that partially permeable cell surface membrane. We saw the shipping docks, the microvilli, increasing all that surface area. Then we moved to the highways and scaffolding, the microtubules, and of course the construction HQ, the centrosome, which organizes that whole network. And finally, the enigma, the centrioles, with their beautiful structure but mysterious purpose. So, as we keep mapping these tiny cellular structures with more and more detail, you have to wonder, what new functions and what new mysteries are we going to uncover next? The main point is, the more we learn, the more we realize just how much is left to discover inside even a single cell. Thanks for joining me.
Important terminology for this topic is shown on the screen, arranged according to various exam boards. These terms demand focused attention during revision as they are highly significant and must never be overlooked. Furthermore, a past paper evaluation is included for each board and paper format. Give this paper attention too, since it will strongly enhance and refine your preparation. Additionally, aims to grasp the meaning and usage of every term instead of rote learning them individually. Consistent practice of these terms in past paper questions will greatly boost your precision and overall exam results.
प्लीज हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें। किसी बेहतरी की जरूरत हो तो कमेंट करके लाजमी बताएं। हमारी वीडियोस को लाइक और शेयर भी लाजमी करें। शुक्रिया।